Hello and welcome to another episode of Quaid-i-Azam Union. In this video, we are going to talk about the Resistance Front and the incident of Pahalgam. So we're gonna look at the history of the Resistance Front that has been labeled as a terrorist organization by the United States, and we would also look at its role in Pahalgam, whether it really played any kind of role in Pahalgam or it was blamed by India. And apart from that, we are also looking at the different angles related to Pahalgam because Pahalgam is shrewd into so much controversies that it is very difficult to basically infer who was behind the Pahalgam incident. So, on 20th April 2025, few militants reached the tourist spot in the locality of Kashmir called Pahalgam, and they opened fire and started indiscriminate killing of civilians population. They killed almost 26 people including Muslims and Christians. Now, within few minutes, India blamed Pakistan for Pahalgam. This was absolute irresponsible behavior on the part of India because without investigation, you can't blame a nuclear country. And Pakistan, to be sure, was not even thinking of creating such mayhem in Kashmir because Pakistan was so much involved in its own political and economic crisis. After few hours, there was a social media post by the account from the TRF, which TRF claimed that it was not their account, and this was basically a social cyber attack on their websites that TRF claimed the responsibility of the Pahalgam incident. Now, when we look at the nature of that claim that TRF has claimed the responsibility, but within few hours again, TRF denies any of its involvement in the indiscriminate killing of the civilian people because TRF in its manifesto has clearly denied killing of any such non-combatants. And then there was a lot of bombardment on Indian media that TRF is involved in Pahalgam incident and they started blaming Pakistan without investigation. Pakistan, to quote unquote, called for neutral and impartial investigation that was rejected by India, and they simply kept the rhetoric that Pakistan was involved in terrorism because Pakistan did this and this, and Pakistan at some point in past supported Mujahideen, so Pakistan supports the terrorists in Kashmir. But there are certain things that needs to be understood. The attack in Kashmir cannot be called terrorism in first place because the the territory of Kashmir is basically an occupied territory. India is occupying that territory, so there would always be resistance from the local people against the illegal occupation of India. That's why you can't label the attacks by the Kashmiris against Indian forces as terrorism. These are resistance attack for the freedom of their territory. So there is so much confusion in international community. In fact, this narrative is peddled by international community that Kashmir is facing terrorism. No, Kashmir is not facing terrorism. Kashmir is facing an illegal occupation by India, and this illegal occupation then results in response from the indigenous people. They rise up against the occupying forces, and in fact they carry violence to get international attention toward the dispute of IIOJK. Now, uh, India lobbied in United States not only to label TRF as a terrorist organization, but also include Pakistan in it because India claims that TRF, the Resistance Front, is an offshoot of Lashkar-e-Taiba. Now, Lashkar-e-Taiba has already been banned after 2016 when Pakistan carried out its National Action Plan that included action against any militant outfit in Pakistan. They have captured its leader Hafiz Saeed. They are continuously searching for Masood Azhar, who is, claimed to be found in Afghanistan. But, Pakistan has carried out strong action against any militant outfit in Pakistan. But India kept peddling that narrative. They kept visiting different countries to blame Pakistan for the Pahalgam. But there are multiple dimensions to Pahalgam. First, Pahalgam issue is being used by Modi to charge Hindu public against Muslims in Bihar because Bihar has a lot of Muslim population and Bihar is going to have election in November. So Congress is a very strong Muslim support in Bihar, and Modi wants to charge the public against Muslims to create the sentiment against the Muslims and to get vote. So that's why they are going to use Pahalgam, and that's why Modi visited Bihar twice, and he pledged that he would track, find, and punish the terrorists of Pahalgam. And after Operation Sindoor, that was absolute disaster and failure, and they faced a humiliating defeat from the hands of Pakistan Air Force. Modi again went to Bihar, claimed victory, and peddled the narrative that they have won the war. Now you have got to give vote to BJP in Bihar. So this is very important because without any investigation, you can't blame a country. And you have rejected, in fact, you have rejected UN resolutions on Kashmir, and you have violated the sovereignty of a sovereign nuclear country, and that has given a very firm response in terms of Operation Bunyan Marsus. Now, the resistance front, which is peddled by India that it has claimed responsibility and it is responsible for Pahalgam incident, has always denied any kind of attack on civilian, and they have in their manifesto that they abide by the Islamic principles of not fighting non-combatants. They are only carrying defensive action against illegal occupation of India. Apart from that, if we are going to see the continuous propaganda by the India in the United States that we are facing a political crisis in India. We have claimed that TRF is responsible for attacks in the Jammu and Kashmir. So they pressurized United States government that you must have to sanction the front, even if it doesn't exist. Some say that resistant front is basically existing only in a virtual form without any physical presence, and it doesn't have any links to Pakistan because resistant front is not a religious movement. It's a movement against the occupation. It is movement of resistance. So they have not any linkage with Pakistan. And in the first report by the National Investigation Agency of the India, they claimed that there were four people. One came from Pakistan, three were local Kashmiris. Now, after 2 or 3 months, they claim that all people came from Pakistan, and they have in fact captured few of the local who they alleged that they have given shelter to these militants. But that is absolute nonsense. It is very difficult to cross the border of Kashmir where 1 million Indian forces are present, and if for example, for the sake of argument, we accept that it were the Indians who were it were the Pakistanis who carried the attack, then you must accept that you are inefficient, you are ineligible, you are highly insecure because with 1 million forces you can't defend the territory, you must leave it, because that proves that people are not going to be integrated with you. Now, on July 18th, TRF has been banned by United States, and India claimed that United States has in fact implicated Pakistan. But United States has called Pakistan a phenomenal partner in, you know, Senate committee hearing. Journal Corilla of United States has called Pakistan a phenomenal partner in counterterrorism. That shows the acknowledgement of Pakistan against the terrorism, acknowledgement of Pakistan's role against the terrorism, and United States always thinks that Pakistan is very responsible partner against counterterrorism. India has never helped United States in terms of terrorism. India always pursued the policy of self-interest, never ever allowing any foreign country to intervene the illegal occupation in the Jammu and Kashmir. But United States again declined to involve Pakistan in Pahalgam, and in fact Donald Trump along with all his cabinet praised Pakistan for it for shooting down Indian aircrafts, and this cements the you know already propagated narratives from Pakistan that Pakistan has shot down 5 Indian aircrafts. Now these kind of remarks show that Pakistan in fact defeated India, because US is recognizing, US is validating Pakistan's stance that Pakistan has humiliatingly defeated India in military field. Now, if we look at the aftermath, TRF is basically, as far as the research shows from Al Jazeera, that TRF is indigenous movement, and they claim to fight against the abrogation of Article 370, against the illegal occupation of India, and they are fighting for the autonomy of IIOJK. So TRF is basically an indigenous Kashmiri movement. It has nothing to do with Pakistan or Pakistan's agencies. And Pakistan cannot afford to involve in Kashmir in terms of physically involving in that affair, because Pakistan is involved in counterterrorism in its western border. And Pakistan is also involved internationally with resolving conflicts between Middle East, between Russia and Ukraine, and Pakistan is also leading United Nations Counterterrorism Agency Committee. Pakistan is also head of Taliban Sanctions Committee, and Pakistan recently has passed a resolution for peaceful dispute resolution. So there is in fact no point in blaming that Pakistan has trained the militants of TRF. Because if Pakistan had trained them, Pakistan is not so much inefficient that these militants would have carried out such a civilian attack. Now, uh, why, we have discussed that Article 370 revocation, in fact, has spurred the Indian Muslims against the occupation of Jammu and Kashmir, and even Congress is demanding the restoration of Article 370. So now Kashmiris have started demanding the restoration of statehood, and India, it seems, that going to give a partial statehood to Kashmir, where law and order, where the special status would be revoked, but they would be given some kind of nominal statehood, and lieutenant governor would always play an important role that is being still played by the lieutenant governor Sena. So, as we have discussed, the TRF has no role in Pelgam, and it has denied the responsibility that India claims that TRF was involved. So I think Pahalgam can be termed as a false flag operation by the India, because when there was violence in Manipur, Modi was on foreign trip. He didn't return. In fact, he didn't post it about Manipur. But when there was an incident in Jammu and Kashmir, he deliberately cancelled the visit of Saudi Arabia just to show the Middle Eastern states that look, your Muslim country Pakistan is doing terrorism with us, and I am very concerned, so I am going back. It was a facade show, because if you are serious about your people, you must have given rights to the people of Nagaland and Manipur. Now, after coming back, Modi started peddling the narrative. I would punish the neighbor, and in fact, he got a fair treatment from Pakistan. But international community also didn't borrow the fake narrative of India. Nobody believed in Indian narrative of Pakistan as a terrorist sponsor state, because they have elected Pakistan to International Terrorism Committee. They have elected Pakistan to Taliban Sanctions Committee. That would not have happened if Indian narrative would have been acknowledged by the international community. Furthermore, one must also look that Pakistan has played a significant role between Iran and US tension after Israel attacked Iran. And it was basically Pakistan who convinced the United States not to attack Iran. That would be costly. So India has been completely isolated on international stage. Pakistan has been fairly fairly acknowledged as a responsible state, and Pakistan continuously is being acknowledged as a responsible partner in counterterrorism. So Indian narratives are not getting that much space on international stage because they lie more than the devil. So this is all about the reality of terrorism in Kashmir. In fact, we can say that it was a attack to gain international stage, and Modi government was trying to peddle the narrative of terror sponsor state, but it failed badly, and it basically tried to use Pahalgam incident to gain electoral victory in Bihar, and that seems now very difficult after the defeat of India in Operation Sindoor. So this was all about TRF and Pahalgam, and I hope that multiple investigations, if international multiple investigation would be carried out, there would be some kind of the inference that Pahalgam incident was false flag operation by the India, because Modi didn't care about the victims of Pahalgam. So I think that was a stage drama staged by India to blame Pakistan, to check that it is world power, but it has been again hyphenated with Pakistan, and it is only partner, equal partner in terms of Pakistan. It cannot compete China. Pakistan and India are in a same hyphenation, and China is a very different game. India can't compete China. If you can't compete Pakistan, who is 7 times smaller than you, then how can you can become an international player? So India got multiple defeats during this episode of the Resistance Front and Pahalgam. So I hope that in the future, two countries come to the table, talk about issues, resolve their issues from dialogue and diplomacy. Different past generations have suffered much about these kind of political attitude. So new generation would have come to table and discuss the issues to make future bright. Thank you, Allah Hafiz.